Did you know the toughest person to lead is yourself? Yep, that's true. It's actually much easier leading a team or leading others than it is to lead ourselves. But to lead ourselves, or self-leadership, is actually the highest form of leadership. The highest. Because it's really the toughest. And if you can develop self-leadership, you'll just be better overall in every way, especially when it comes to leading others. So here are quick 4 tips in how to be better at self-leadership. The first one is to practice followship. So we become better leaders when we're actually better followers. So no matter where you are or where you're starting out, and just may I interject right here, that leadership is not about titles or positions. It doesn't mean you're a manager or some people's boss. Everybody's a leader. Every single person, because leadership is influence. And every single day we're trying to influence someone, whether it's our spouse, our children, a colleague, our boss, a friend, relatives. We are all interacting and talking to people, and we are influencing them, whether it's positively, negatively, trying to help them, give them advice, whatever it may be. So we are all leaders. So when it comes to being a good leader or developing self-leadership, we need to actually be good followers. So when you practice followship, it means when something needs to get done, be the first one to offer to help. If someone says, we need to do X, Y, and Z, say sure, get in and show that you're a good follower, instead of always challenging and trying to become the leader in a situation. So that's the first thing. The second thing I'd say is to develop more self-leadership, we need to develop more self-discipline. And self-discipline is a skill. The more you practice it, the better you become. It's just like exercising a muscle. The more I exercise this muscle, the stronger the muscle becomes, the firmer and bigger it'll get over time. So self-discipline is exactly the same. So I'd say start somewhere with some small thing that you can implement every day, and try to implement that thing every day for more than 30 days, and then implement another new habit. So try to create and become a person of more self-discipline. And the more we can exercise self-discipline, the better we are at self-leadership. And when we are better at self-leadership, we become someone who leads by example. So we teach people through how we are. We teach people through what we do. We teach people through our actions, not through our words. Words don't teach. The next thing I want to say is be patient. Practice patience. Leaders and good leaders are often people who have a bias for action. They want to get out and get going and start taking action everywhere. But be patient, because growth and becoming a person of better character or have greater self-discipline, whatever it may be, it takes time. It's a process that takes time. So be patient with yourself and try to implement and practice something every day. And if you get off the rails, it's okay. Just get back on and keep going. Don't give up. The last thing is seek accountability. Actually, find someone to hold you accountable. If you've got a boss or someone that you do check in with, that's great. But let's say you don't. I would recommend that you either get a coach or find a friend or someone that you trust who you can have an accountability check-in with. Because when we are accountable to someone, we perform way above the level that we perform when we're not checking in with anyone and not accountable. And just some other tip on the side here about accountability. Ask yourself, how good are you at taking advice? Some people, when they're given advice, they just never take it. Other people get advice and they're open to receiving it, but they may not act on it. Other people get advice and they take it, they're open to it, and they act on it. Then you get people who actively seek advice. Tell me what you think. If you're in my shoes, what would you do? Those kind of questions. I love that. Seek advice. Then you get people who really actively seek advice and always implement it. I really try to be the last one. I like to get advice from people, and if it makes sense to me, and it seems like something that's worthwhile and can make me a better person, I want to go and implement that, and I recommend the same for you. The more open we are to receiving advice and actually acting on it, the more we're practicing self-discipline, the more we're practicing accountability, the more we're doing something and being patient with ourselves to learn something new and become a better person, the more we're practicing fellowship. So there are the tips for you to exercise self-leadership, which is the highest form of leadership. So that, my friends, is a roundup for today. So the 4 tips are: practice fellowship, develop more self-discipline, be patient with yourself, and try and seek more accountability. Have a wonderful day.